source connected. Come on. And that's two sources connected. You have my Twitch account still, right?
Don't think so.
Oops. You think so?
I guess no. There's a link in the stream channel.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. So we're just kind of in the middle of developing this piece now that we're live on the internet.
Yep.
Probably should update them a little bit. We're making a thing. There you go. Figure it out.
All right. You want to
It might
move the
actually
calendar
turn into a.
over one line so that my brain stops hurting? That makes it worse, Kai.
Is that better?
I hate you.
It's not snapping to the grid very well, is it?
Yeah, that works. All right.
Is that better?
The line is straight now.
All right. So this holiday, this is. So should we say we could call them holidays? Let's leave them as holidays and just rename it to unavailable days or available days. How do you want? How do you think we should do this? Because I'm not sure, but I like the idea.
So yeah, definitely not holiday. I think having them mark which days they are available makes more sense than
Okay.
marking which days they are not available. So
So we'll call that availability then.
yeah.
Days available. Okay. I will.
Definitely spelled wrong.
Okay. Google knows how to spell it. So that's days available.
That is not correct.
Why?
Actually, is it correct? Never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay.
Just
It
looks
didn't
silly.
look right at first.
Yeah.
Let's see. What does that know? It does not need ID calendar. Fuck, it doesn't need a name or a description. It's literally just a fucking list of dates.
Well, it needs the ID calendar to associate with the right calendar, right?
Wouldn't the calendar just contain a list of dates?
Well, the calendar is being associated with the months and days, yeah, but it's also being associated with an organization and a calendar for the available dates per organization. So it needs to be identified to that calendar because the calendar is identified by an organization, which is fed to that organization, which is fed back to the role, which is fed to the thing down to the da 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 da, right, and then out to the league. So it needs to be it needs to have its own identification so that data can flow like this, right? If I don't have an org name here, right? I don't know what organization to tie this calendar to. If I don't have a calendar day here, name here, I don't know whose calendar I'm updating. So I'll need the org name as well in here.
I guess this is just a
I
difference
think.
from
Okay, here's the other one.
from like from database compared to object oriented.
Yeah, this is object oriented programming.
So if it's object oriented programming,
Yeah.
you don't have the child have information on the parent.
See, but it has to identify the parent.
No, it's inside the parent, and you make a new one for each separate parent.
See, this is the one that this is the one I'm basing it off. So do you see the one up there?
I see your screen.
This is a very normal application, a very typical application for user tracking, right? For timesheet management and stuff like that,
Okay.
right? So this is for timesheet billing, like for billing, right? This is how this is written.
Flowchart looks terrible.
You can use this chart to write an application. just like
If
this.
there's
Yeah.
one thing that I was told when you're making flowcharts, it's that having your lines not be straight is like the greatest sin ever,
Yeah.
and I agree with that.
Unfortunately, the application world does not. This is how they write them all now. It's irritating, yes, but this is how they're all written. Because each one of these pieces, right, like that whole holiday object, can be added and removed into any other application. The same holiday object, the same calendar object, the same company object, the same app role object. It's all supposed to be portable, right?
I mean, I guess, but does the holiday mean anything without the calendar?
Nope. It needs to
Then
talk to a calendar
then
part.
then
But
if you don't have the calendar, then the holiday is worthless. Therefore, why do you need
because now
the
you're talking.
unnecessary information? Now you're wasting information space, aren't you?
No, you're not.
Because I think you probably are, but that's okay. Whatever.
No, you're not. It's a validation check. You're ensuring that your data is going to the right place. I make guys rewrite their entire applications if they don't do this, and in banks, and places like that. So what that call does is it says I need to get the information from calendar X to identify holiday Y, right? And if
Yeah.
I just have holiday Y and I don't tell it what calendar it goes in, it has no idea where to go. It might just stick that information into role because there's a name field there that's next to name, right? So you need to make sure that your app that your call goes to, right, your class, your holiday class talks to the calendar class, right? So these are just the fields in the classes, right?
I suppose it's. I disagree with it in principle from a perspective of optimization for speed.
Yes, I don't care about
It,
speed.
it
I care about accuracy.
you you're in my opinion you're doing unnecessary checks and throwing away
Yeah.
resources, but
See,
it does make you 100% sure
yeah,
instead of 99.9999999% sure.
yeah. I'd rather the 100%, for multiple reasons. And the other part of that is too, is if I do it this way, I can put each one of these classes into its own API or into its own microservice. And if I build them all together into one thing, I cannot break them apart into different microservices.
Yeah, but you'd have to build the calendar and holiday together into one API
Yeah,
because
multiple parts. Yeah.
without the calendar, the holiday doesn't mean anything,
Well, the
right?
holiday works as its own API, right? And then it talks to the calendar and says the calendar says I have holiday says I have these IDs here,
Yeah, but if you can
right?
never use the holiday without the calendar, why would you ever make an eight? Why would you include two APIs when you can just include one that has
Well,
both?
yeah, you would. Well, that's what you would do. You do one with both, but with your API can call on different services and different classes, right?
It just seems you're adding unnecessary redundancy and confusion.
I don't know. This is
But that's
this is
fine. That's
application
what.
standards. This is where I got this from, right?
Okay.
Right. This is application standards 101. That is where I got this from. This is like one of the first type of application projects you're supposed to do. So I think it's the third one in the course, and this is what it looks like when they give you the project. So like I don't
Certainly.
know, right? It looks like this. This is the default template that I got from Google, which is also the same one that they tell you to do in their course.
Okay.
Uh, so I don't know, right? But because like I would if I put the two of them together, then I would agree with you. The two data boxes together, because the calendar has 12 IDs, right? Plus a year. So it's got one, two. It's got a 12-month, so many days, and a year field. And
Yeah,
then
I
the days
suppose.
available has to match the calendar date.
I mean, I'll be honest. I figured that there was one calendar for the entire year, but
Uh,
splitting it by month works too.
right? But like I think that's where the days work, right?
Yeah, you probably split it up on that's how you display it visually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking anyway. We can change. We like this is all just speculation anyway, purely because we haven't written anything yet.
Yeah.
We haven't
Right.
decided how this is going to work. We just want to make sure we have the right information to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make more sense?
Yep.
So this goes there. Yeah. Okay. No more crooked lines. Thank you. Um, so let's go back to the original data thing here. See, and I don't have a holiday information on this calendar. I only have it over here. That makes sense. So when I propagate the calendar, I pull data from here. So let me grab that data line. Okay, so I have day data. So and it populates calendar, and that's fed into organization. Why is that fed into organization?
Because each organization has its own calendar.
Right, and there it is there.
The
Aha.
calendar is basically just a list of the days that they are available to play the game.
Yeah. So let's make this right here. I'll take away this one because this is actually the better. This answers your other question that I was trying to explain to you that you didn't like the answer for. Hmm.
You got the wrong part. Unless you meant to flip it like that.
No, I got the wrong part.
You managed to grab the inside of the arrowhead instead of the outside.
I hate these lines. So there, that's clear. Right, project is the middle piece. See, I'm wondering if maybe because project is essentially. You can see why I picked this data flow to work with, right? Here's your tasks, your timesheets, time categories, timesheet cost center. This is all the stuff that we could that I was thinking about for the league, right? On renaming this stuff. So I'm wondering. That's why I was talking to you, but it's like maybe I'm doing this wrong.
So, so my first thought when I look at that,
Yep.
did you see how project role or the user is connected to both the project role and the project
Yep.
on their sheet? Your users are not connected to the organization.
Project.
So
Project role.
you see the user that has project role and project coming into it.
And there's the company over there, and then client, and then project. Project documentation. Project cost center. Project goes out to client. Company goes out to client. Project role comes out, and project role goes to user.
So the way I'm imagining this, you have
And
the
the
user project
timesheet
role.
goes to project. That's the one. That's the line you're talking about, right? This one.
Yeah. So your user has inputs of project and user project role, which in our case would be user project role and organization.
Wouldn't it be league?
No, because the organizations are part of leagues. You can have organizations of one user, which is what you'd have for one-player games or one-player leagues, right?
Yeah, but we could also re-identify those one player as single players as orgs, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what you do. You'd have. Sorry, when I meant one player. Yeah. So
So we have over here, we have this. I want to draw a pencil here. Where's the pencil? What can I draw? Okay, I'm going to put a logic box on this. How do you make this transparent?
probably can't.
I want that to be transparent.
Can I build into the background?
There we go.
The back. Right click it to back.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, so that is one data set.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one data set. All right, now let's figure out where that is. And this is the role of the company, the calendar, the holiday. This is the one that we're working on right now. Let's figure out where that is over here.
So in this case,
Paste here.
that is your league, your divisions, and your division schedule.
So that is. I thought that would be my role, my
So
organization.
you're going to have one set of information. That is your league, division schedule, game days. Okay.
Yeah.
That is one group of information. Your other group of information is your organization group of information.
Yeah. So that's this
Call it
section
that.
here.
Mm-hmm. And that will be so.
So just put
So
plugs
each
here.
each
One,
so
two.
so each user.
Yeah.
Okay. So each organization will have a calendar that has days available in it, and each organization will have a list of users, and each organization will be. Yes. Okay. The only thing that'll be its own data thing is the user project role in my idea. The role is in the wrong spot, I believe. That should be between the user and the user project role.
Well, let's go back to this one here.
Or maybe what is the role different from the user project role actually?
That's just that's the permissions basically. Like manager, team captain, right? Player, right?
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Because then
why is
then we can add stats track because we're gonna add stats tracking to this too, right? Down the road.
yeah, why is that different? Why is that separate from the user? Or why is that not between the user and the user project role?
The
What?
role, this is the definition of the role. So this piece here uses this data. That's why I put the use line in, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So there's the use
I see
line
that
for
now.
us now.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I see that now.
Because it
Okay.
doesn't exist before. That's why it was really confusing.
Okay. So
As here we are in our application architecture hats
yeah.
on, right?
So that group, I think it might be even a little too small because, well, I guess a question:
Yeah.
are admins going to be part of an organization? called the the refs.
Yep.
Okay. In that case, um,
Well,
all
the
users.
admins will be the team managers, right?
Well, there's team admins and then there's site admins. Those are two
Oh,
different
those are
things.
two different things. Yeah. We're not dealing with that right now.
Yeah. Right. So
Yeah.
when I'm saying admin, I mean site admin. If I'm talking about team leader,
Yeah.
that'd be captain. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. We haven't built in the DBAA and the
yeah, you're missing a line from user to org. I think because the org is made up of users.
nope. Goes to client. In this case, this is the
So
player. This is where it gets dicey. This is the part that doesn't work.
this isn't a 1-to-1 representation, right? Because
Because this is building a one-to-one. And it's that client project piece that I tried to replicate here.
okay, well the client project is going to be the site admin and the league.
So let's shrink these boxes into less space using things. I'm as bad as
So what you might want to consider is delineating players from site admins. You might want to create a different a second type of user.
but we shouldn't need a site admin. I want this thing to be able to operate itself, right? That's why I'm building it as an application, not as a website. It needs to be maintained.
How are you going to have referees without an administration?
Oh,
Like you're thinking that this thing can run without an administration
yep,
function?
yep.
What the hell's fucking wrong with you? No, it can't.
Sure can.
No.
Challenge does.
People use that to create brackets, but
Yep.
I thought the intention of this was to actually be running the leagues.
Yes. So there's no overall site administration, but there is an administration for the division and the league itself. Right? It's all user oriented administration. So what we're doing is we're just generating we're generating like procedure generation of the league, right? And then they would be selecting things like how many divisions do they want? How do they want the divisions to be defined, right? And we would ask the user to populate that stuff and then hit a go button and then we would run the app. Then the application would run and build their divisions.
Okay.
I want this to be 100% hands off. Otherwise, I'm building the same thing that exists in 400 other sites. This doesn't exist anywhere. This is an application that's never been written.
Hmm. something to consider.
Hmm.
You might want to include a type of game if you want to. Like it's a small thing to add to these and makes it actually entirely general purpose. I guess maybe you don't really need to if they're just making new leagues of their own.
Yep.
That'd be part. I guess that'd be part of the description.
Yep.
Definitely spelled league wrong.
Thank you. See, I'm not sure if I need to do more than this right now. This is everything we need, is it not? Like this should be a really simple kind of project. Really powerful, but very
Yeah.
simple.
The only thing I'm not entirely sure about right now is the position of the role.
Okay,
Because right now it looks like the role doesn't interact with the league when it probably does.
yeah, that's what I got the position of the role here.
You've got the user project role,
Yeah,
which is I guess then used that way.
it uses all the information over here to build the user project role.
But why is the role positioned like it is in relation to organization?
Oh, um, because
Why is
your role definitions, right? You create your role definitions for your organizations. So it's kind of like you
so
have your
so they're defined based on the organization?
so yeah,
Okay.
you build your organization and then you define your role, you define your calendar. This information is then I'm just going to clip that to the outside edge of this box. Then used by that, right? Because that makes more sense when you do it that way, in my view.
Does the user project role
Nope.
use organizations?
Now this is the interesting part.
Hmm.
Here's where things get interesting because I have. Let me get another copy of that box. I have this chunk of data here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically its own entity. That just needs to go into league. That doesn't need to change. Sorry, right? And that this needs to
Yeah.
talk to challenge somehow. This is the part I'm actually stuck on, right? This needs to talk to this
Mm-hmm.
and vice
I
versa.
don't know how challenge works.
So challenge builds brackets, right?
Okay.
So here, let me pull up challenge and we'll go through that how that works, right?
So it sounds to me like challenge needs to talk to the division schedule,
Yes. Tournament bracket creator.
not to the
Tournament name.
entire thing,
Yeah.
just
So
the
this would be
schedule.
League A. Tournament type. Round robin. Right? Play each other 3 times. Man, that's all we have. Uh, select size for a blank bracket. Right? And then we have use number position. We right this one here. So we would have
Mm-hmm.
team respec 10 and the X. Randomize seeds. And Bob. There we go. We got 4 teams. So there, it would look like that, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
the data here. This gets fed into the calendar. Round one, and then these values gets fed into the calendar. And we feed this stuff through the API. right?
Okay, so
So I might have that.
that bracket gets fed into the division. The division schedule takes the bracket and compares each team's calendar each point to generate when those brackets are scheduled to play.
Yes. So this is in the wrong spot.
There's the data flow.
All right. So I'm gonna get rid of that box because it doesn't mean anything anymore. This is in the wrong spot. So this needs to go over here and
Yeah, users don't care about challenge at all.
no.
They give zero fucking shits.
Yeah.
In fact, not even orgs care about challenge, I don't think. Only the division cares about
Only yeah.
challenge.
So
And it'll feed challenge a list of orgs, but the orgs never need to know about challenge itself. They only need to know about the schedule.
so it uses challenge.
Just
Right.
so you know that's not connected, so when you try and move it later, it's going to be angry at you.
That's fine. So divisions use challenge and
Yes.
they input their data into here.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge.
Challenge them. So challenge provides the list of fights
Yeah.
that back to the division. The division then feeds that list of fights into the division's schedule. The schedule is like, okay, so we have Team A and Team B need to fight. When are they both available? They're available on these days. You're fighting then. Merry Christmas.
So it goes that way. Only this is a solid line, not a. I want the other one, like this
Is
one.
that correct? Because no, challenge would use the division. You have that backwards.
Yeah. Challenge
Oh no!
uses the
Oh
division.
no! No! Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No. No. That's backwards. That arrow is backwards.
Is it?
Well, compared to the user project role, user project role uses the organization stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're all right. There we go.
Now, mind you, how we're using that arrow may actually be inverse of what you're supposed to be using it for.
We have no idea. Neither one of us are freaking architects. We're just go winging it,
Yeah.
right?
This is the first. I'll be honest. The first time I've used arrows, but you're using it consistently, so it's at least you can
Yeah.
explain how each
Yeah.
arrows are working in your thing.
How our thinking is going.
Yeah. So challenge gets the list of games or list of teams in the division,
Yeah.
and then generates the bracket or the round robin
Yeah.
whatever list of games based on that list of teams,
Yep.
and then that list of fights and the order that they happen in gets fed into the division schedule. The division schedule then can take that information for the list of fights and compare it against each individual team's play dates and generate when that works,
Yes.
and therefore generate the individual game days.
Yeah. And,
Um,
and we're gonna do best of 3 series, and then we have to figure out how we do the playoffs. After is the next thing, but we're not gonna
well,
go that far yet. We're just gonna do we're gonna just get the what I want to get working right now, right? So
so
we've got
you know what you might want to consider?
yeah.
You're using the challenge API. Why not let the league organizers decide how they want to organize the league?
Oh, it will.
So what you don't necessarily have to make it best of three. You can make it best of one, best of two, best of
Yeah,
three,
yeah,
best of
yeah,
five. You don't need it could be round robin or it could be bracket.
yeah, yeah. They can figure it out
So
themselves
give the users that option
as much as we possibly
using
can. Yeah,
challenge.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Um,
So let's not. Okay, so we won't define that because we're not defining that right now. So let's not do that.
mhm.
Yeah.
um, I don't. Let's see. You have the user email already, so that can do that. I don't know if you need like listing game day like
We got a game
email
day.
list or something.
No, yeah, who cares? We can figure that out
Yeah.
later. That's that's not that's those are features, bonus features.
Hmm.
we
I
we
think
want all we're trying to
you,
do here is to get the core of the engine working.
you can probably remove ID child user from the user list
Why?
because
Oh,
individual users don't care about challenge
right.
ever.
Okay, good argument. Discord. I was going to let them. I was going to use Discord IDs to validate the users.
Do you need that in addition to email?
Yes.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate that?
Nope.
All right.
I think Discord has started to become ubiquitous enough that it is reasonable to use.
Yeah.
Though, if you want this to be a standalone product for ever and ever, well, you're already using Challenge, so
Yeah.
you're kind of as well there. But the more products like that that you add in, the less standalone your product becomes.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's fine. I just don't want to recreate the wheel. Why would I recreate
Mhm.
communications and book and bracket creation when there's already two
Oh,
applications that do it
absolutely.
way better than I
Sure.
can?
Yeah, definitely. You challenge it. Like it makes sense,
Yeah,
especially if that
yeah,
API is going to stay effective and it doesn't use their website for anything. But I think
yeah,
it does, unfortunately, doesn't it?
yeah. I don't know. We'll figure that. We'll run into that hurdle when we get to it.
Yeah, they probably use their website to generate the brackets.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because they don't. There's a couple other places that do it. Rocket League uses Challenge,
yeah.
and then they just
Um,
take the information and regenerate their own information onto their own website with their own web front. All they do is they put a Challenge logo on it on their page.
just a little stylistic thing. If you look at the days available, the ON is in the wrong spot.
Oh, right. Yep. That's irritating.
Uh,
There. And the one is in the wrong spot over here. There we go.
Also, the one from user project profile per user, user project role,
Oh, there.
the user project role to user line.
Yeah,
Yeah, all the ones are all over the place.
yeah, I'm not sure where the ones are.
Yeah, that's honestly good enough.
Yeah, it was
I,
just for
I, I
me
think
and
I
you.
think
Nobody else is
yeah,
going to read this except for you and I.
right.
Uh,
I think this works.
okay.
I think this is a good framework.
All right.
I'm still not entirely 100% on the user project role using the organizations like that, but I think it's at least a good starting point.
Hmm. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to Kanban this.
Okay.
So that's going to be really difficult. So because I have multiple chunks of this already. So I have that data box there.
You're just going to divide creating each of these into tasks.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if how much of this I would like to be able to do that on its own, but I can't. I can
The
do
those
this
those
on its
boxes on
own.
those boxes on the right are all one box. All five of those. That is one supergroup.
I thought that the user rules was the was the linkage.
Yeah. I think this is correct.
That's the right way to break that down, right?
I believe so.
So I
Yeah.
believe we can write each one of these pieces as its own microservice.
You might want to put the user project role in its own overbox.
Yeah, because it's going to do all the work.
Oh god, that's frustrating. In case you haven't noticed, whenever you just use that middle slider, it's still diagonally increasing the size.
Yes, I know it's really irritating. I picked the wrong box for this one because I wanted to go this way.
So yeah,
Uh,
it's forcing it to stay square.
yeah, I don't
So
want
I'll
to.
move the division box over like
What about
a little bit. You're,
oh this one? Like that? And then I can take this rectangular box
yes. Good straight lines. Yes.
and rotate box. And send to back. All right. So I think I can build. Now, where's I need another color arrow.
You definitely just overlap that box with that arrow and it looks terrible.
Oh yeah, I did that, didn't I? There we go. That looks less broken. I need a new color. I'm just gonna do a line. I think I'm gonna put. Why is that not showing up? It was a different color.
The fact that it gets your voice with no delay and but the image with delay is moderately frustrating. Gonna be honest.
Um,
Yeah, you definitely cannot tell the color of that line. It still looks black. Does it just have red stripes on it? It's red and blue? What?
oh, there we go.
That's weird.
That needs to go. I want that. I don't want that. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those two pieces into the same microservice. Even though logically they're different, I think I'm gonna put them in the same service. Can you hear me at all now? Probably not. Okay, so I was thinking that red line, that'll leave enough time for the red line to show up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna mute my microphone. There we go. Um, no, I don't want to do that. You just have to turn down the sound on the application on your end. Um, so that's so we're gonna build this into three microservices. Okay. I'm thinking, do we want to start with the independent one or this one or this one? This is what I'm gonna build the Kanban board around. These objects and these different groups.
So, you want my thought?
Yeah. I want to know what's going to
Uh,
be easier to do because this is where your experience
sorry.
severely outweighs mine.
All right. So think dependencies. So these are all individual things, but they do use each other, right?
Yeah,
Like your division schedule requires the calendars.
yeah.
So you want to make your calendars before you make your division schedule. Actually, do you, or is it, you want to do the other way
Don't
around?
care. I don't care. That's all over there. I can build all of this without a calendar.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you? You can't test it without a calendar. I can tell you that fucking much.
No, but I can test this part. Where's my pencil?
You would not be able to test the division schedule creation process without having a proper calendar.
No, but I can
Nor would you
test.
be able to test. Could
I
you
can.
even really test the division creation without having a list of organizations to put in that division?
Yeah, I can. What I can test is I can get the APIs to come out and talk to division. It doesn't need to be finished, right? I can build all of these
All right,
fields, right,
sure.
and do the logic,
Um,
right? Because a lot of this is chicken. Like everything in here is chicken before the egg,
yeah.
right? Like
Um,
because I can't
I
actually
would,
build project roles till
yeah.
this is done, or I can build the
I would
user
start with
first.
the user. I would start with
Build,
the user.
build the user first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I would
build the
start with
user
the
first,
user. Then I would go
then
into the
build this part.
organizations. Then do organizations. Then do the league.
Okay, so I'm gonna label this. Um, I said text. Okay, so I'll do this. I click text. There we go. So we're gonna call this das org microservice.
That's org.
We'll call this the user microservice, and I'm gonna connect to that text box like that. That makes more sense now, right? I make this a one directional arrow.
Hmm. What
Oops.
is that red arrow representing?
The red connecting to. Because each box is its own microservice except for the user project role. The user project role is going to be connected to the DOS user microservice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's not how you draw that to make it look like that, but that's how I'm doing it because I know other ideas unless you know of a better way.
Seems weird that you have both that one and just the line connecting the project role to the user. Seems redundant. Like the lines are literally cross.
Which line are you talking about?
You have the red line,
Yeah.
right? And then you have the line that's going the 0 1 line going from user project role to user.
Oh, yeah, that's communication. That's the communication between the two objects, and the other one is where the objects live. Right? Because we could literally make user project role its own microservice if we wanted to. But I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's going to be big enough to do that. Where if we add the user project role in with the user, now that's the core of the application right there, right? That's going to be where all the work happens.
So I guess a question: why don't you just include the user project role in the user microservice in general?
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
So don't have it be a separate box. Just put that in that box.
Eh, well, don't you be all fancy pants and make logical sense. Back. Wait, that is why I asked you to come help me do this. I know what I'm good at. I know what you're good at. They're two different things. So that can go away. That can go there. That actually goes to the user. And now we have to just shuffle this around in a circle a little bit so that there. These are really irritating.
The lines?
The ones and the zeros that don't
No.
really mean anything to you or I.
Fucking delete them.
Yep, they're going away.
Problem solved. If they don't
Oops.
mean anything to the people using the thing, then they're useless.
Yeah. Okay. Oops.
So you're gonna have to delete that line.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it just hates you now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it just was like you're fired.
I think that was literally going all the way through the division box up to the league, and back down to the bottom of the division.
That's kind of what it looked like, isn't it? And it's going to the division box and to user project roles like that. There we go. That's right, isn't it? Yes.
Um,
No.
they'll go to league, not division.
Yeah. there it goes through that middle of that box again.
Um,
There we go.
it just hates you.
There, I made it do stuff.
It looks terrible, but it works.
uh, I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
It's fine. Generally, like after you like, whenever I did flow charts, this is always how they looked for me when I did in progress. And mind you, I haven't done one in quite a while, but
I used
when
to
I was,
all the
I
time.
usually did them in college.
Yeah.
But they always look terrible, and then you just spend 15 minutes when you're done making it look pretty.
Yeah.
Getting rid of all the kinks and turns and bends and crap.
Yeah. Ellen? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, okay. So I think that's good. I think we have everything there. Now I'm gonna start with with that.
Yeah, I would definitely start with the user. Though you might want to start with the, I guess, do you want to create the app framework first, or do you want to create the microservices that slot into that app framework first?
Huh?
Well, because, well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, you're going to have like an actual app, right?
Yep.
That contains all these microservices
Well,
and
they're gonna be
uses them.
well, they're gonna be separate. They're all microservices. They're gonna be separate little chunks.
Yeah, okay. No, ignore me. Just
So we're
do
not building a
users.
we're
Do the
not
user first.
we're not building a monolithic. So the user microservice will run on its own. We'll be able to like send data to it and receive data to it. The stuff that goes to and from the other microservices. The
Mm-hmm.
microservice works like its own API,
Sure.
right? So that's what we're building as a microservice. So that right, that way, if this thing actually takes off and people are willing to spend money on it, then we can support them. We'll be able to
Mm-hmm.
support like a thousand leagues this way, or maybe 100,000 leagues. But if we have a big monolithic application, then we might only be able to support 20
Yeah.
before it dies. But like this way, each one of those microservices has its own database, right? We're not living on one database. We're living on three databases,
Sure.
three independent databases, and I can build them all in Postgres too, so they're super fast. Or I can build them into Microsoft databases, or I can do the one of them in a Postgres database, another one in a Postgres database, and have one master database that holds all the other documentation that say data user holds or whatever, right? We have a million ways
Mm-hmm.
to do the data to hold the data, but that's not a right now problem, I don't think. Oh, what was this microservice going to be called? What the league is?
The league.
There we go. Done. Nope.
I mean, it's got to be the league, man. You got to at least be like consistent with your shit.
The league. MS. The boys.
The Bears.
The bears. I'm gonna put the orgs. .org m microservice. .user microservice. .league microservice. Okay, there we go. Now that's how an architecture meeting is supposed to go.
Hmm.
We actually have architected an application. Now let's see if I can write it. So I guess, okay, now I guess I'm gonna have to make a Kanban board for this stuff.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll leave you to that one, bud.
Yep. I'm gonna start open up my Microsoft account and start figuring out how to set this all up so I can start writing.
Have fun.
All right.
I will talk to you later.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.
Yep.